deserves it more.
It really is. I mean, right now the series is at 4-2 with coL.Black being the team with 4 points. And I mean, they just faced each other a few hours ago. So we're going to jump into this match, and it is going to be Runes of Lordaeron, which they did have a little problems with in one round where Snuts just fell over. So we're going to have to see if they can come back from that.
And let's talk about this setup, these comps versus one another. Beastcleave, known for that extreme rush down style where, and it looks like Soda's actually going to be playing on Druid as well.
Yeah, this is quite interesting. Druid is able to toss out that, NS, which is very important. They don't have the Lust. It'll be interesting to see exactly how a Druid is going to play out against this Beastcleave.
You kind of look at it both ways. You do, of course, have D-Curse for Hex, which will most likely be thrown on Venruki, so you won't have to block or trinket that. But at the same time, with the Druid Healer, you do have an offensive Dispel in the form of an Enhancement Shaman. And it can get nasty quick, as we've seen before. Gates are about to open. This is going to be the first game in the grand final, but overall, Game 7 between these two complexity teams, Black and Red.
And of course, we're going to follow Flex out of the gate from the start. He's been the guy that when he connects, people die.
And now things are starting already. Totems go down. We know what happens next. There's the Wolves and Bloodlust on Venruki. Drops down to half. Well, and down goes Venruki. Headshot, and that'll do it. And now Venruki's wondering where exactly that block key is, but it didn't really matter.
No, you know what? I wouldn't have even expected that much damage to come out. I mean, we were following Flex from the start. He jumped onto the tomb in the center, got his wolves out, lusted him, and blew him up.
Wow. All right, Venruki. Damage received, 22,000.
That's how many hit points he has.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that was about it.
Wow, that is unbelievable. Look at the amount of damage in
Healing received, 857. I mean, that wasn't even time for a hot to tick.
Wow. And those of you at home who have the HD stream, you can go back and watch that frame by frame and see how many seconds exactly he lived.
Venruki raised his hands and said, okay. And I mean, what else can you do in that situation? But just like we got finished talking about, these teams that run a Druid Healer against an Enhancement Shaman, which one of their main strengths of being in a comp is an offensive Dispel on the target you're trying to DPS down.
Exactly. I don't understand the choice of Druid. I mean, you do have, look at the different healers that have the options. Obviously, Lust on a Shaman is huge for your Wizard Cleave. I mean, when your casters not only can DPS faster, they can crowd control faster. And then you look at having a Priest that has Pain Suppression, or a Paladin which has Aura Mastery, and the option of a Bop, which will come off quickly, but still it's going to drop that aim shot. I don't know. What do you think about the choice?
Obviously not working out too well, but we are going to be on Blade's Edge. We talk about it every single time. Snuts will have a little more room to kite with, but he's not the one that just got blown up in less than a second. So Venruki, I think he's probably just going to stay in the starting area and hope that maybe they don't come for him.
Yeah, it's what can you do? All right, so Venruki, we're going to follow him out of the gate this time because there's no way that'll happen twice in a row. So
I would not take that bet.
No, I mean not blocking.
Oh.
But I mean, honestly, how could you expect that much damage to come? I mean, everything must have crit right there. But all right, so we're going to follow Venruki out of the start, and he is going to already get his pet up so he can freeze Flex to try to stop a little bit of the damage right from the start. But he's right in the middle of things already. Have that aim shot already down to half. I mean, look at the amount of damage coming out onto this mage.
Now, one thing you do have to notice, there's a lot of dots rolling onto Flex and damage rolling everywhere. There's a death coil, but look at Venruki. He does get the block off this time. He's going to sit through that, get top back off. But now, as soon as he comes back out, there's a Cyclone onto Toes. A lot of damage going on to Flex, but look, they swapped over to Snuts while Venruki was in the block. He drops down to 12,000, and still Flex taking a lot of damage. But look at Snuts down to 4K HP, still very low, sitting right there next on top of his portal. Finally getting picked back up above 10K, but he's trying to get out of there. Drops down the bottom level with his Druid.
Yeah, that Tranquility helped him out a lot right there after he ported to the top, was out of line of sight, and still taking a ton of damage. Now look at the mana on Soda. He is completely dry.
All right, now really the question is, once Flex actually connects onto a target again, that's when the damage will get going, but he's actually taking a lot himself. Now Twix caught in the fear, but Rookie, the man, taking a lot of damage once again. There's a freedom. Things are going to get bad here. Flex connects and it instantly has to block, and that's going to be his last block. And now Innervate has been used by Soda. He does have a little bit of mana to work with. Flex finally getting Shamanistic Rage up once again, so mitigating some damage. Trying to get back to Rookie. Rookie down to 3k, 2k, tries to invis. Down goes Rookie once again, and just like that, coL.Red in a very bad spot.
Look at how many rounds they have to win. Not only, I mean, what can they change at this point? I mean, maybe swapping out the healer, but I mean, they're down to the wire at this point. And these were very, very dominant, quick games. Even when they turned it around with Snuts putting out a lot of dot damage onto Flex, Toes keeping up with the heals, no problem.
Now, I mean, take a look at the mana situation of the healers while we're at the end of this game. I mean, Soda was at almost no mana right there, and Toes still sitting at 7k, easily able to keep up with a single one of these casters' damage, because that's basically what happens. If they're on Rookie, he's not doing anything. As soon as he blocks, they go back to Snuts. Those dots will still be ticking, but he's not going to be refreshing anything. And things are not looking good for coL.Red.
Not at all. I mean, Snuts is going to go down here, and that's going to put it basically right down to the wire. coL.Black showing that when they can dump damage into a target, they can do some amazing things. I mean, look at Snuts did have a lot of damage there, though. 121,000. Of course, he was the last person to stay alive in that match, but Flex doing a great job of sticking to Rookie every time that his block was up, and then once he blocked, swapped immediately over to Snuts.
That will bring the score to 6 for coL.Black to coL.Red 2. This could be match point for coL.Black, giving them that first place and that $15,000, but coL.Red still has an opportunity here. They do have that roster we keep talking about where they can change comps up, and now they do have that opportunity because it is after the 8th game, and now we see them over there talking things through, and something has to change because these two matches were not even close.
Yeah, as you can see, it is Rek'Vul that's standing up, trying to talk a little strategy with the team. He has to get them hyped up. They have to get back into this game this round. I mean, of course, they lose it, they're out, but they need to start going on a huge streak of wins here.
It's either win 5 or go home second. That's the only thing coL.Red can do here. And right now, coL.Black has to be feeling completely confident, as these games are just explosive as they've always been.
All right, so we are going to allow the team, to take that full 5 minutes if they want. And Complexity, thank you, JP, for telling us that Complexity is taking 5.
And also, if you are watching the stream, we do have a lot of people here helping us with coverage. A big shout out to Shrew Trance out there really helping us out and posting some of the things we do miss on the live blog, just trying to get you as much coverage from the event as we can.
They have so many different ways of getting that information. There are people talking in IRC that sometimes, I know Ziz has been in IRC giving a lot of updates of exactly what happened. He's on that live blog also. You can watch us and hear exactly what we see, since we have the best view in-game of what's going on, with the two of us both shoutcasting from different perspectives. And then you have the live blog. Shrew's doing a great job there. You can follow along with stats on gotfrag.com. We give you as much information as we can on these tournaments.
All right, as usual, while we have a little bit of downtime, we're going to head over and answer one last question from the Ask the Cast thread over at gotfrag.com, and it's going back to Will of Forsaken, and 172 is asking, why are people still playing Horde?
It's, the thing is when Blizzard opened the racial transfers, all the Alliance players went over to Horde to play Horde RMP, and they all went undead. And then, they nerfed Will right after, coincidentally. And then they could have gone back and gone for human and used, the 2 trinkets and having the option of using that racial as their PvP trinket, basically. I do believe they did nerf the double stacking of Soulless, which is huge. But still, Horde is still really good in very specific situations with Will. People are like, oh, well, if I trinket, I can't Will right after. But you look at a long game, and you're able to trinket, then Will, then trinket, then Will, then trinket, then Will, if it does end up getting that long. So it's still good.
It's not, the best as it used to be.
And besides, you have underwater breathing still. In case they do make an underwater arena,
you're okay.
Undead will be good.
Yeah. Somehow I don't see that one coming. So there we go, and we do have the results coming in, right? What exactly is going to be happening, and coL.Red looks to be swapping to Priest, Destro, Mage.
Yeah, and we have, looks like the other team will be locked in just a second. I hope they are locked in at this point.
You can pretty much assume that Complexity Black is not going to make any changes, as you see them right there on your screen, and they're going to be ready to go with this and sitting with this comfortable lead of 6-2.
Here we go. Yeah, we do see Snuts has already sat down. So you do have some input from Azael right there. You know, the two Warlocks kind of talking it out. And I mean, look at all these players here. You have the entire team of Complexity Red sitting there. You have Nelio, Reckful standing up. You have Enforcer Collective, and this is a camaraderie we were talking about with WoW Esports.
We'll be getting into this last, maybe the last game here in just a moment if it continues on the way it's been looking. Complexity Black so far just dominating in the grand finals. But remember, this is what it all comes down to. If Complexity Red wants to take home the $15,000 check and the title of World of Warcraft National Champion for the MLG PC circuit, they need to win 5 games in a row.
Hey, but don't count them out quite yet. Look what happened the last match we just broadcast. 4 in a row against Button Bashers.
That is true. If there's one team you never would have thought that got 4-0'd, it would be that team. Now they need to turn it around and take down this Beast Cleave that just seems like it's rolling over them at this point.
It's very true. So, I mean, they are going to take that full 5 minutes to talk over strats, and that's what they're doing right now, getting ready for this. I mean, they have to change something, and of course they did. And we know that Soda can play so many healers very well, specifically Priest and Druid.
And we were talking about it earlier, you know, actually bringing the Druid in that healer spot against an Enhancement Shaman. It's pretty tough go, especially considering with a few purges.
They may have over-theory crafted it and been like, okay, we know that the Hex is going to come out while lots of damage is coming out, and we'll be like, oh, well, you know, a Druid, how are you going to Hex a Druid, you know? Plus, we can already, you know, remove it from somebody on our team. So they may have over-analyzed that a little bit. But a Priest is good because a lot of their healing is going to be purged off, but pain suppression is huge. And all they have to do is live through that initial burst, especially running Wizard Cleave, from the Hunter and the Enhancement Shaman. If they can live through that, with pain suppression, they'll be able to pull through.
Well, I guess the way the Complexity Black's probably looking at it, it's just a third piece of meat for them at this point because it is another Clothy that isn't going to be going anywhere.
All right, so this could be it. This could be the last round. It currently is 6 rounds in favor of Complexity Black. Complexity Red, I mean, they have to win so many rounds in a row. We have sewers right now. We've heard that Complexity Black likes playing on this map, so we'll have to see. At least it wasn't ROV.
All right, you at home or anyone watching, if you're rooting for Complexity Red, it's the time to get up and get pumped, because if you want them to win this, they cannot drop a single game from here on out. And now if you're a Complexity Black fan, they're cruising through, but I'm telling you, as we said, do not count Complexity Red out. This has been a fantastic team throughout this entire tournament, and they are playing for it all to end out the year of 2009 with this title of National Champion.
So it all comes down to this for Complexity Black. They take this round, they take home the $15,000 on Dalaran Arena. The gates are about to open. We're following Twix out of the gate, who does just a massive amount of damage.
And here we go, and now an early Shadow Fury, so you see that Snuts is going to be playing Destro, and they see it and go on him right away. He is going to go behind that box, and there's an early Hex on the Snuts as well, while they're DPSing him down to 4K. There's a pain suppression, 647 HP, and down goes Snuts. Just like that, Complexity Black will clean it out, making this series 7-2. That will do it. We have our national champions for the year of 2009. That will be Complexity Black.
Now you look at how much this team has improved from the very start. Complexity Black swapping a couple members, getting a new sponsor, 2 new sponsors over the year, and it eventually comes to Orlando when they have the perfect healer, the perfect hunter, and Flex playing all their DPS classes. They made it come together just in time, $15,000.
And now one team that's had a heck of a journey. They make it all the way to the end. The World of Warcraft MLG National Champions will be Twix, Flex, and Toes, 3 amazing players, and we will probably be bringing them up here in just a minute here with a little presentation, and we'll be right back here live from Orlando with the MLG 2009 PC circuit played on HP.